A warm welcome everyone, my name is Nick as this show continues onwards, and we're looking on the Commodore Amiga at Ferrari Formula One, published by Electronic Arts in 1988. It's a game that also came out on the Atari ST, the Commodore 64 and DOS, but I don't think it made it to the ZX Spectrum for some reason. So it's a Formula One racing game, and unfortunately it is controlled on the mouse. Yes, you've heard me. Why would you do a Formula One game on the mouse? Well, we'll see how it works. I certainly couldn't drive a car using a mouse. But in this game you're in the Ferrari Formula One team, and you must go through a whole championship and essentially win. Ferrari didn't win the championship back in 1988 when this was made. Their drivers was Michele Alboreto and Gerhard Berger. So here we are. We can alter the car, do some test laps, and then go into a race by clicking on the various icons. If we click on that van, we can actually go to a race. But we'll do some practice laps first of all, so I'll try and get a bit of an idea how this works. Loading times are quite long, so we'll edit those down. Right, here we go. We're on the track. Now, you'll see the mouse, so it's a bit like VR here. How we're going to control this, I don't know. So, one of the mouse buttons is accelerate, the other one is decelerate, and then by going left and right, yeah, it sounds a little bit like Test Drive or Grand Prix Circuit. This is going to be alright until I get to the first corner, I think. Oh man, I'm scared. Right, okay. Yeah, that don't feel good. That don't feel good at all. And I'm losing my bearings here. So, yeah, but I'm getting a bit of motion sickness as well. So by doing the mouse, amazing. By doing the mouse, you can go left and right, and any quick movements, and then you're going to skid round. This is no way to drive a car. I'll see if I can get a bit better on this. I might do, I might not. Now, in the 1988 season was dominated by McLaren. I think Ayrton Senna won from Alain Prost. Ferrari didn't win any races apart from one, which is probably the most important race to them, which was in Monza. Well, that felt okay. Right, okay, so we just did over there. Now, there's huge rumble strips in this. You feel like you can drive over them, but if you go too far over, the car will actually stop dead. Be interesting to see. So these are practice laps by me. After this, I think I've got the hang of being a top driver now. I think after this we'll go straight into a race somewhere, rather than doing qualifying and practicing for 100 years. I prefer Grand Prix Circuit to this one. Ahead of both of those is Formula One Microprose Grand Prix by the great Jeff Crammond. Frame rate on this isn't great, but it's acceptable, because I do like Test Drive 2 with a similar frame rate, so I can't knock it down for that. It's interesting they've gone for this style. It's a rather unique game. Engine sounds are pretty good. I think we can pull over here. This is like a pit stop. If we get on the grass. It's got good mirrors there, as you might have seen. Right, going to box, which essentially is the pits. A racing simulation. If you've had this one, then let me know. At the moment, I'm getting okay, but tricky to control. Right, we can click on tyres. Fuel, no. We can change those if we want. But essentially, I want to go into a race now, because I'm sensing there's going to be absolute chaos. The car can't get damaged that I'm aware of. Yeah, so not the greatest Formula One game, but it's sort of like okay-ish. If you can get used to the mouse, that is. Now, I understand biking games on the mouse. That's understandable. Try and get the lean. Whether they're trying to get an analog sort of view on this to make it more precise, but it just makes it way, way too difficult. Right, here we go. So here's all the tracks. Let's go for an easier track. I think Spa's quite a long lap, isn't it? We'll go for Spa. We won't do Monaco. Scrolling down. So we're doing an Amiga game this week. The aim is to do one video a week. We'll see how that goes with my new job commitments and stuff. Next week we'll probably do a Spectrum game if we can. Okay. This come by a recommendation. I can't remember who recommended it, but there we go. It's when I was doing my top 10 Amiga cockpit view races. I don't think this would get in my top 10, but it probably wouldn't. But it's nice to see anyway. So we'll do Spa. That's in Belgium. The real course in real life has got quite a lot of undulation and braking. It's quite an exciting track. I wonder if this one has got undulation. So this is going to be a bit of a test for the programmers. How bothered were they? Microprose Formula 1 Grand Prix has got undulation. Let's see if they try to attempt it here. Should be straight into a race, I think. Oh no, I've gone into the pits. Tick, 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 tick. Boom. Right, I want to get into a race. That's a Williams there. Back in the day, it was all McLaren and Williams and Ferrari. Williams have dropped back quite a bit, as have McLaren at time recording. But they've got a new engine for next year, the good old Renault, so we'll see how that goes. Although it does blow up a bit, doesn't it? Right, here we go. Right. So left and right, like we're in a VR unit. I don't know what these cars are ahead of me. Let's try and weave around these. Yeah, this is going to be tricky with a mouse to try and get round people. Right, brake. Oops. No, there's no damage here. I went right into the back of that car. Car is still going. It doesn't say what position we're in that I can see. That's a bit bad. But as I was saying before, look at the rear view mirror, the wing mirrors there. They're moving. Now that is clever. Position would have been great. I would like to see an overview of the map there. If we go through a couple of cars to see where we are. Slowly getting the hang of this. Very slowly. Right, you have to give these rumble strips each side a bit of respect. You can clip them slightly, but if you go completely over them, the car, as I say, will stop. I don't know what position we're in at all here, or how many laps we need to do. Oops! That was my hand getting a bit tired. Yeah, my hand is aching. We're only on lap 0. That says. Don't know how many laps we need to do here. There's no undulation at all. Well, there we go. I'm not recognising this as the Spa from later games. I mean, the latest game I played, I'm a bit behind in my Formula 1 games. The latest game I played is on the PlayStation 3, Formula 1 2010, so I'm well behind, aren't I, at the moment? What's your favourite Formula 1 game in the Amiga era, or even the ZX Spectrum, or completely all eras, any system? Let's open it up to everything. Oof. On the Commodore Amiga, of course, I love Room, if you haven't seen that one. Comes with a data disc as well, and as I say, Microprose Formula 1. Another good one is Team 17's budget title, F17 Grand Prix, I think that's called. Yeah, a few good ones about. Not overly keen on Indy 500, although a lot of people do like that one. Too much setting up for that one for me. Now in this game as well, you can make the car go quicker by clever setups, which I haven't done. What was a white car back in this era? Was arrows about? Perhaps is it footwork? Footwork arrows, weren't they? Let me pass. Now my luck of overtaking people does seem to be, well, random. But if you compare that to the last Formula 1 game I reviewed, Grand Prix Driver, this is absolutely amazing. It isn't too bad, this one. Isn't too bad. As a kid I would have got quite a lot of enjoyment out of it. I am feeling like I'm driving around a Formula 1 track. Just takes a while to get used to the control system, really. No undulation at all, as I said. I'm expecting the Monaco might not have the tunnel. It might just do the bare minimum. But gives you a little bit of variety, I suppose. No clouds in the sky. There's no weather conditions in this, but I wouldn't expect there to be honest. Now, Super Monaco Grand Prix on the Commodore Amiga wasn't a great conversion. I'd have this above that one. Ooh, although you do get the fun of the arcades, really, if you're used to playing that. Right, great engine sounds on this, though. I love it. Can only pick to be the Ferrari car. This game, I would say overall, it's good-ish. It's middling. It could have been a lot better. I like the idea of it. Now, this is being emulated on an Amiga 500. Whether it plays a lot better on a 1200 with the enhanced chipset. Almost swore then. Chipset. Right, to be clever. Oops, there you go. Can't do that. I don't know. Right, we're on lap 1, which is really lap 2. Can't see us doing a whole race here. We'll pull in to do a pit stop at some stage. Boo, boo, boo. It's racing. There's quite a few racing games about there. You see on the tyres, there's a white line that goes up to give you the bit of an indication it's moving. They could have just done straight black, but then that wouldn't give you the illusion of speed. So that's quite clever as well. The line down the middle of the road seems quite fat. You don't get lines down the middle of the road, do you, on actual race circuits? You only get them along actual physical roads. Mind you, Spa is a physical road, isn't it? I think it might be. Let's let them off. If I did another course, it'd be interesting to see if those other lines, that central line, is there or not. Scenery, the horizon, always look at that at racing games. Is that Spa? Do not know. It seems like a couple of sheds on the left. I don't know what they've got in them. Maybe it's the Marshalls drinking place, where they go to drink and be merry and whoa, and not skid around like that. So you can't skid the car 180 degrees, but it can go, yeah, it can move about a bit. I am getting a bit dizzy here. Are you getting dizzy watching this? Motion sickness galore. It does give you an impression of what the game would be like a little bit if you were wearing a VR headset, and I don't think you could do a whole championship in one of that being a little bit ill. Inertia City. Traction of the car seems quite good. It's just you do gentle movements on the mouse, really, left and right. That's not too bad. But I don't know how far we are behind the next racer. It's not giving us the gaps between who the next one is. It just tells us what the lap times are. Yes, okay, we didn't do that too badly. Check out the wing mirrors. Are there any cars behind me? No, there are not. No cars at all. Each Formula One team, as I'm sure you know, consists of 2 drivers. There was trying to get 3 drivers at one point, but you know, Formula One is so expensive. In the 80s, back in this sort of period, there used to be about 30 cars competing for 26 positions on the track. Now we're back down to about 20 cars or something like that because it's so expensive. Liberty Media have, well, about a season ago, bought the rights to Formula One. Whether they change it to make it more affordable, I think you've got to increase the competition. But I would love to have 30 cars competing for 26 positions. That would make it pretty important. If you crashed your car, you would not qualify for the whole race. Now that would be exciting. Gerhard Berger, I think I mentioned it, won the Italian Grand Prix back in 1988. We're not getting my years mixed up. Michele Alboreto there. Gerhard Berger come 3rd in the championship overall behind Prost and Senna, who were absolutely outstanding. Alboreto finished in 5th, and Ferrari comes 2nd overall in the Constructors' Championship. Don't know what this game looks like on the Commodore 64. If you did own it back then let me know. I always like to see, or to hear at least, what these games play like on other systems. Now, no wildlife running on the track, no bugs. Right, same pit there. Perhaps, can I still pit? I think I went past there. Pit the older, pit the younger. Pit at all. Brum, brum, brum. And that's pretty much all I can tell you about this game. It doesn't really move on from this. It's racing, and that's pretty much it, really. So if you're into Formula One or racing, you probably would have found this not too bad. Unless, of course, you played Micropros first, then you probably wouldn't like this. As I say, I like Grand Prix Circuit better, but, you know, that's only because of my love of Test Drive 2. Whoops, doing a bit of weaving. Don't need to keep the engine, well, the tyres warm. It will stay the same each time. Nothing unpredictable will happen here. If you're not into racing games, then this probably look a bit boring, but look at the attention to detail. The Ferrari emblem is in the centre of the steering wheel, the prancing horse on a yellow background, so that's good to see. No DLCs, of course, back in the day to upgrade, go for different cars. That's probably the best I've done that chicane. There we go. So we are getting the hang of it, aren't we? Maybe I should restart the game, see if I can get into the lead by lap 1. That might be pushing things a little bit. Whoops. Whoa. Ferrari Formula One. I'd imagine this was licensed by Ferrari. Electronic Arts, who produced the game, may have gone to them. Ferrari haven't won the championship for quite some time now, at the time of recording. They've got Sebastian Vettel, 4 times world champion, although he got those championships for Red Bull. And Kimi Raikkonen, at the time of recording, got 1 championship, and that was for Ferrari, I think back in 2007, so 10 years ago now. If Ferrari have won now, because I don't know what year you're watching this, then comment below. I'm not sure how much longer Kimi Raikkonen can last, but he has been signed up for the 2018 season at least, not the 2080. I don't think he can hang on that long. Who can? Some young ones watching this, no doubt. So yeah, it wouldn't compare to the latest Formula 1 games, this, F1 2017 and the like, but at least you'd never have to download any updates or patches. it's what you see is what you get. The game's never going to change. Although occasionally some people would do mods and things. I don't think there's too much modding you can do on this game. If you're a modder out there and you have modded this game or something similar, let me know. Formula One Grand Prix by Microprose did have quite a lot of mods to bring it up to different seasons, and that was great fun, that game. Overtaking on this does seem a little bit random. They tried to use the mouse to make it more precise, but they made it less precise and a bit well, mad essentially. But I'm glad they did it. Interesting. It's an approach that no one else that I know of did, so hats off to them. I do like programmers or coders that attempt new things. Not necessarily if it hasn't worked and I bought the game, but I never bought this game. So, hurrah! It's all about reviewing it, getting a bit of memories and seeing what times were like back then and comparing it to games how they are now. There we go, so there's a lap done. 2 minutes 24 is what I did. Right, let's pit. I don't know if this is going to put me back into the race or restart it, to be honest, but going to box. Get ready, pit crew. Tick, tick, tick. I hope that's not a time bomb. That would really upset my pit stop. Is there anyone actually in this car? I can't see there's actually a driver in there. Anyway, so I'm either Gerhard Berger or Michele Alboreto. I'll be Michele Alboreto because that name seems pretty cool. I mean, what am I in? First place. Does that say first? Did I win that? Oh, it said Lauda there was my teammate, did it? Maybe it's based on the 87 season. It came out in 88 anyway, I know that for sure. Oops, what's happened now? I think I might have made that the end of the race. Yeah, look, the date of the top 10 86. It might be based on the 86 season. Right, we seem to be in another race. So I was giving you all the 88 details, but it's based on the 86 season. Hooray! Right, so my teammate is Niki Lauda, who's now one of the principals of Mercedes. They're doing quite well. Right, so let's concentrate. Let's get through this mob. We won't do a full race, I don't think. We'll probably just do one lap. So let's pass that fellow using the mouse. Oops. And that might be a Ligier in front of me. A blue car. Or is it Leighton House Ilmore? Man, overtaking is so imprecise and tricky. Good job the car's not taking damage. It'll be out by now and I've got stuck on a bump. Not good. Going through the gears. Now, this is automatic gears. So you don't have to worry about manual gearing, which does help. I'm not sure how you do manual gears on the mouse. That would make it even more trickier. Might be easier on a trackable, I'm not sure, but I'm using a manual mouse here. If you're using emulation on a laptop, it might be easier. No, it'd probably be trickier, won't it? Doing better than last time. Closing in on this other car. It's either a Footwork or a Williams. Oh, getting dizzy. My head is spinning all over the place. Car goes past on the outside. No chance for slipstreaming. I don't even know what speed I'm doing. So that's the things missing from this game. In a racing game, you want to know your position on the track. You want to have, you want to see the map, and you want to know what speed and gears you're doing, because that's what makes it exciting. So all those things are missing unless there's something hidden somewhere I can't see. So yeah, a bit incomplete this game. It's okay, but not one of my favourites. Engine sounds brilliant though. Right, let's try and get through. I'm trying to learn the lap, but I'm not learning it at all. It doesn't feel like Spa, but a lot of them didn't back then, so I won't take that away. It's essence of a different track anyway. Some of the bends might be the same, but the undulation is just not there. And undulation is what makes Spa tracks so great. They get their fair share of rain as well. Oops, almost down to 0. Step on it, big nose, as the mechanic always says to the driver in their radio communications, as we all know. Right, okay. I think we'll just call this the last lap, folks. Then we'll park it up. We'll lie that we've got engine failure, and then we'll go in for an early lunch. That's what we'll do. That's what we'll do. Right, keep on the track. You can't wander off the track too much, if at all. So you'll never get on the grass. It'll just stop the car. So there's not much distance outside of the track. Yeah, so parts of this game are quite advanced, like the rear view mirrors, or the wing mirrors, and the engine sounds. And some of it's very, very basic and missing, so it's a bit of a mismatch. I would say this game overall is okay. If I was going to score it out of 10, I'll probably give it a 6, I suppose. Bit harsh, bit too generous, not sure. Let me know what you think. I like hearing your thoughts as well, because quite often we all think different stuff, which is great. That's what keeps it alive. And I've missed my pit stop. Right, let's just park it over here. Yes, so thanks for watching that one as always. I hope you enjoyed it. That's Ferrari Formula One on the Commodore Amiga, published by Electronic Arts in 1988. If you've got any comments about that game, any Amigas or racing games in general, then please put that below. Until next time, because there will be a next time, take good care of yourself and are very fond. Goodbye.
Goodbye.